Animaniacs.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of War with Words, a Monday night retrospective. I'm Mick.
I'm Courtney.
And we are diving right back into the thick of the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
This was an interesting week.
Or not.
Yeah.
You know,
interesting in the fact that it wasn't at all. Well, that's not true. We saw a surprise debut, a guy that we have been very excited on this particular program to see.
Yeah, it was super cool. He had the blue outfit. He looked like a ninja, and he was on Raw, and his name was Farouk.
So, Glacier, he's real. He's just on the other show, apparently. We have to admit we were a little naughty because we were told in July Glacier was going to debut.
Yeah, they're still running the promos every week.
Although this time there is no more date, and it's a completely different...
Well, no, they never put a date. They always just put coming.
That's true. Oh, I thought at one point it said coming in July.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was, because we were hyped. We're like, okay, we're going to see him, and that's why we kept waiting. So we got curious. And we consulted...
It's July 22nd, 96.
So we consulted the Google, and it turns out that yes, originally the plan was for Glacier to debut in July on WCW television. However, there's this little thing called the NWO. So, Glacier's debut was moved back to September.
So I guess we're going to get a couple months of these vignettes.
At this point, and we've talked about this in other episodes and other shows, the importance of vignettes. Do you think that you need a quicker payoff on a vignette? Like, maybe run a month.
I'd say, yeah, run a month, because eventually you get frustrated and you're like, this again, you're wasting my time. When is this guy ever going to show up?
Yeah.
So 3 months is probably a little too much.
Well, yeah. Well, this was a very...
Granted, the newer vignettes, you actually see him. He's doing, karate.
Lin Kuei.
But reading that he's not going to show up until September.
It really lets the air out of the sails, I think. Like, holy cow.
Imagining, little me watching and
I want to see this ninja.
Waiting for months.
Yeah, that's...
Like, what's even the point of teasing anymore? Just stop running the vignettes.
Yeah, maybe wait until you're about to bring... Like, okay, if you're going to bring him up in September, don't run another promo till, like, last couple weeks of August.
Right.
If you're going to bring him, like, early September, like, first week of September, wait, and...
maybe they do. Maybe they stop. Like I said, this is only the 22nd, so maybe it's still in the air, but...
Who knows? But...
those darn outsiders.
Ooh, this new world order, this new world organization of professional wrestling.
Maybe Glacier's gonna be the fourth man.
Maybe! Somehow I doubt it.
Yeah.
But this was a very special week for Raw. It was HBK's birthday. Yay! Happy birthday, Sean. They were emanating from the beautiful Key Arena in Seattle. Great looking arena.
It was fantastic. This is the best looking show that they've done.
Definitely. They did the video intro after, like they kind of opened up with a little bit of in-ring and some talking, and then they cut into the intro, which was interesting. You had, with it being Sean's birthday...
Of course, the Smoking Guns and Sonny come out and they have a cake.
You know somebody's getting cake.
Somebody's getting cake.
It's gonna happen.
Thankfully it was Sonny.
Yes.
It was pretty funny.
But they come out, they were going to have a match for the Tag Team Championship.
Yep.
Ahmed Johnson was shinier than the belt that he carried.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I think he just, gets dipped into a vat of baby oil and then placed on the runway.
Slowly dip him in.
By his feet. Yeah.
Well, and, we've talked about this in the past with the knee pads and everything. He had a knee pad on his nose. Yeah. He actually had, breathe right strip.
It wasn't quite a breathe right strip. It was just a big square.
A big white square. So it was like, well, all right, he just needs that protection.
Yeah, next time he's going to come out in a luchador mask made from knee pads.
Yeah. So, of course... You kind of see this coming immediately. Sonny's the one who gets hit with the cake, and HBK very weirdly,
literally, eats it off of her face.
And of course, if you know, at this point, backstage, Sonny and Sean were a little bit of an item, so he's like, hey, I want to go out there. It's my birthday. I'm gonna eat cake off your face.
I'm gonna eat your face.
It's gonna be great. So you get that segment open up. Super kick to one of the smoking guns. I believe it was Billy who got the super kick.
Yeah.
And
so the match gets postponed so Sunny can decake herself.
Yeah. Which she never changed her outfit. Overall, WCW, we noticed a very big change, and we've talked about this a lot. The workhorses of WCW, either a combination of the Harlem Heat or the Steiner Brothers, not in the opening match.
Yeah, they weren't there. They weren't there for the whole card.
It was, and I gotta be honest, their presence was missed. At least I felt like there was a hole in Nitro this week without their presence. But Squire Dave Taylor against Scott Norton, this was a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Squire Dave Taylor's a great worker. Scott Norton, big, strong guy. Ended in a DQ. It just felt weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's about on par with what they opened Raw with, I think, where it's just like, Raw felt a little more fun.
Right.
With the cake situation, but their first official match was the Goon against Mark Mero.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happened.
I can't imagine the conversation. Like, okay, we're gonna make this guy, he's a hockey player, but he's a wrestler, and he's gonna wrestle in boots that look like skates, 'cause that's safe.
Do you want to know an interesting little backstage trivia on the Goon?
Absolutely.
So, when they were developing characters like the Goon and like Duke the Dumpster Droz and T.R. Hopper, because they're job guys, but they're not quite just job guys because they had like a character and a gimmick. So Jim Cornette, at the time, who was working a lot of backstage stuff with WWF, contacted a guy who used to work for him, Chris Jericho, whose father is a hockey player, who is a Canadian, and he contacts Jericho because at this time Jericho, I believe, was in ECW, kind of working in Japan and elsewhere, but he worked for Smoky Mountain for Jim Cornette. So he contacts Jericho and he's like, hey, they got these guys that they want to do that they're not quite job guys, but they're, it's a little different. They're going to have characters. So Chris Jericho believes he was going to be the Goon. Because he told him, he's like, no, I can make it there on my own. I don't think this feels right for me. So Jericho believes that he was going to be the Goon.
He is the son of a hockey player.
Yep, and this was a point in time where, before the Razor Ramon character, Vince McMahon looked at Scott Hall, whose father was a career military guy, and he was like, so your father's a military man. So that's what he would do. He would kind of stick you with a gimmick that was mirrored real life. So Jericho believes he would have been the Goon. Can you imagine that hair in that outfit? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Ah, here's the Goon! Wow!
Black out some of his teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been a complete waste of Jericho's talent.
And I think Jericho knew that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's an interesting little aside about the Goon.
I like that he didn't even have a name. He was just the Goon.
He's just the Goon. Kicked out of every hockey organization for fighting. So he's a wrestler
Happy
now.
Gilmore, if you chose wrestling over...
I guess. I question, did the Goon ever try and take off his skate and try and stab somebody with it? You had Stone Cold on commentary, who's so great. Like,
of course, the Goon was going against Wildman Mark Mero. I don't think we mentioned that.
Yeah. Wow. You had...
I like to talk about Wildman. He's great.
He's so great. And, it's sad because watching the kind of performances that Mark Mero is turning in every single week, it's really sad to know that Sable is the one who ends up being, the star, and Mark Mero just gets brushed under the rug. And it's like, that sucks, because he's really impressive.
Yeah, he's good.
Looks good, he can work. His talking's okay. He's not the best, he's not the worst. For then, he's good. But, you had Austin on commentary. Of course, Mark Mero picks up the win. Solid match. So I guess the Goon, in a sense, does his job, is go out there, put on a decent match, and go back to having hockey.
Could you imagine wrestling in a hockey jersey? Ugh.
It looks like he's got the pads, too. His pants look like the pads. So I'm like, damn. Although, maybe that's a good thing for taking bumps.
True.
Maybe you're saving yourself a little bit.
Just ask Ahmed Johnson.
There you go. That's why. That is why. Because he's like, if I am a giant pillow, I won't get hurt. But apparently it doesn't do any good for him. over on WCW, again, we get to see the illustrious VIP table in use again. Rick's VIP table, although no Rick.
Yeah. It would be nice of Rick to let his friends use it while he's not there.
Yeah, and, you know, Benoit cutting his whole silent, violent... He spoke a little more this time.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, that's why he's silent and violent, because don't let him speak. It just... Mongo being awful. Like, oh man.
He wasn't with the Four Horsemen very long, was he?
I don't believe so. There's no way, because I know eventually they pull in Malenko, if I remember correctly. So I'm assuming it's like an injury, or they're just like, hey Mongo, you suck, get out of here. Nobody cares anymore. We did get to see Conan, K-Dog, against VK Wall Street. That's a nice little jab.
the first real like recognition and jab against the other brand. It's very under the table, very
a little nod and wink.
VK Wall Street, because he's made of money.
It's Vincent Kennedy. Yeah, it's okay. No, this was a decent match. You know, Conan really, like, I look at him and I kind of know where his path takes him in WCW, but I feel like he was a really big missed opportunity.
Ouch. Yes.
You know, they could have done some really cool stuff with Conan. I think, you know, possibly push him towards like world title. You know, I know like he does NWO and you know other things. But
he's really good in ring, but he does seem pretty vanilla on camera.
They're gonna give him some more personality. Right now, he's kind of vanilla, but eventually
since we've been watching, this is only like the third time we've seen him. So,
well, yeah, but he's soon, before too long, he's gonna be like, yo, let me speak on this. Orale! Viva la raza! That's right, Eddie Guerrero, gimmick infringement. Possibly. But, you know, solid match.
See, that's good, because I guess he's babyface right now?
Right now, yeah.
So
and
he just can't tap into that.
Although, they call him the Mexican Hulk Hogan, and I feel like right now, very much so. He's very, you know, brother,
vitamins,
Jack
prayers.
Dude, say your prayers, you know.
Say your Santa Marias.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Okay, so...
Sorry.
Keep talking. I need a second.
So, I don't remember when he said this, but Zbyszko with the fantastic commentary again, letting me know where I stand
Damn it.
as my, you know, gender. I like women where they belong. And that's in quotes.
Larry Zbyszko just really delivering the sexism and kind of racism commentary later in the show. Or no, wait, was that Bobby Heenan?
I think that was Bobby Heenan.
Okay, well, you know, WCW, come on guys, like, can we step it up?
So edgy.
Yeah, so over on Raw, they're doing the Stridex SummerSlam sweepstakes.
Woo! Send in your postcards.
Which... Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Why can't we do this anymore? Like, I know we have like social media, like tweet, retweet. Damn it! Let me send a postcard in.
Well, this is a fantastic mesh of mediums because it's a kind of the turn of the century coming. Because not only can you send in a postcard, you couldn't use AOL.
What?
Yes.
You could go on the internet?
Yes.
Wow.
Or go to your local Farmore.
What? What the hell is a Farmore?
It was like Walgreens, but like way...
Man, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, okay, get a postcard.
I think back when you could get like steaks from your department stores. Like
you go to a Sears and you can get yourself the most beautiful cut of steak that you could imagine. Oh man, go to a Rose's, get a steak, and buy a toolbox while you're at it.
Yes.
Like you could do that. But you know what? Maybe we should have a contest at some point. Send a postcard to Tandem Fan. We're gonna do that. That's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna make that happen. Where you get a P.O. box,
yeah.
You know, like write to us, much like you would have possibly written to Scruff McGruff in Chicago, Illinois, back in 1996, and help us take a bite out of professional wrestling or crime. What happens? What happens? You know, that's much props if you get that reference. But, so, I completely lost where we were because I'm obsessed with this postcard thing. What happened? Oh, Bob Backlund campaigning.
Yeah, just in the audience, shaking hands, kissing babies.
And I love the fact that 20 years ago, Bob Backlund was on Monday Night Raw, making a presence, being weird and crazy. And here we are, 20 years later, and he's still on Monday Night Raw, being crazy.
Screaming, tearing his shirt off under his suspenders.
That was really weird. Like,
I think it meant that I don't know if it was supposed. I don't know if he was supposed to tear her shirt off.
But he kind of was
just
I feel like hell it.
If he was supposed to, it would have been rigged a little better, like
Cesaro, yeah.
But it got stuck in his suspenders, and he stopped trying, and
yeah, it was weird. But you know,
I feel like he's gonna bite somebody's face.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be amazing. He's gonna go Matt Hardy on somebody and just be like,
I will eat your feet.
So on WCW, you had, see now it's my turn. You had the Macho Man, Lex Luger, and Sting. You know, they're talking smack again on the Horsemen about, oh yeah, brother, we're gonna come out there, Horsemen, and we're gonna, oh yeah, yeah. So we get the Glacier promo again after this.
Again.
There's no coming soon though.
No.
Like we talked about before, there was no coming soon, but. Promos.
We do get some man candy promos.
I felt really confused after watching this
It was
promo.
almost like a sexually confused.
A little bit. I felt really weird in my pants.
It was kind of like those Bodman commercials.
You want to know what it reminded me of? I don't know if you remember this, but Saturday Night Live. Actually, it may have been around this time in like '96 because you have like David Spade and Chris Farley and Adam Sandler. But they did a thing where they go to, I think it was Adam Sandler and it was Chris Farley, and they go to this house to clean this pool.
Yeah.
And it was this commercial that was for Schlitz Gay. It was a beer for gay men because it's like you drink beer. And you're gay. And they go to clean this pool, and all of a sudden, like, these buff men come out of the pool, and they're like, you guys look like you need to get wet. That's what this reminded me of. Go on YouTube and see if you can find it. But you get this promo with the Renegade, Alex Wright, and who else was it?
I didn't write down who was actually
Joe Gomez. Yeah, I think it was Joe Gomez. Really weird.
Well, they're like walking down the beach and they
in WCW shirts, and they just
one at a time, not all at through. Not you get a shot of each of them.
Yeah.
And it like restarts for every shot, and they walk down and they take off their shirts and they have their shades on.
It was really weird, like really weird. Because
there was no words.
No, there was no
no coming up.
It was
next.
just.
It was literally just them being shirtless.
Look at these young. Oiled up,
like
muscular men coming down. And I think there was, okay. I think the end of the promo was they're all like walking in a line, the three of them walking in a line on a beach, no shirts, just, and it was like, what the hell was the point of that?
Right?
So like I said, I feel like somebody watched
WCW where we bash women but show you sexy men.
And it was odd, like the whole thing, I didn't understand. I was like, what was the point in that? And it was even more confusing because of the match where you've got Hugh Morris, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, and the Barbarian, and it just kind of degenerated, broke down into like a weird...
Well, they didn't even focus on the match because the Outsiders were in the control room.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure how the match went.
I don't know what you were selling to me with this very erotic and strange presentation of like Alex Wright and Joe Gomez and the Renegade, but I don't know WCW. I don't know what your game is. I'm very confused. I'm gonna go look at Sunny now and figure shit out. Like, I don't understand. It was weird.
And she's covered in cake. So
she's covered in cake. Ooh, now that I can get behind. See, I understand the point of that. I want to eat this woman because she's in cake. So, Freddie Joe Floyd versus Mankind on Raw.
sometimes when Monday night is just not as exciting as you want it to be, you have to make your own entertainment.
It's true. I liked this match. I really did. I think Mankind is so refreshing in terms of what they do with him, with the different entrance music and the different exit music, and just his kind of insanity.
The way they do it, and the way I interpreted it with this match, it's almost like playing the music to calm the beast. He wins, and they start the music, and he backs off, and he sits down. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa. Now that's telling a story.
It is. It's really, really well done. I like how they handle it. It's just great. I'm really enjoying the mix of him and Undertaker, and you're sprinkling Gold Dust in there a little bit. It's really, really well done. But on Nitro, the reason why our team of young, oily men lost is because the Giant, the world champion, shows up, choke slams everybody, and Hogan! Hogan! He's angry. He accepts Hulk Hogan's challenge. He's going to choke slam you. I'm the champion. WCW doesn't have to worry. That is all in quotes. That is exactly how he presented it. Go watch the episode if you don't believe me. So, next we get a man who's been quite interesting in WWF. And of course I'm talking about the loose cannon Brian Pillman. Joins us for commentary of Barry Horowitz and Gold Dust. Wow. The things that Brian Pillman says.
He's talking about what Sable and
Marlena, the love triangle kind of angle they're pushing there.
I'd love to see them like check out each other's carpets or something.
Yeah.
It was...
the stuff he's saying doesn't even make sense.
No.
It's just filthy.
Yeah.
And controversial. And I think he said ass a few times, and he's just like, and
I love how Vince is like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff. And in his head, he's like, yeah.
I like it, pal. Keep saying it.
Because Vince has to be the straight man.
Yeah, which, by the way, I love it. I love this version of Vince, especially, knowing what he becomes and what he's been for
kiss my ass club.
Right, so it's just so great to see Vince in this
hold my,
like that. It's so cool to see it because and to a point where I'm like, man, I kind of wish we could get that Vince back now because I don't think people would understand or know what to do.
I think the bedpan shot. We're never going back.
It's never happening. Ever. We did
He's a different man now.
We did get an interesting 900 call. Will SummerSlam be The Undertaker's final match? That's interesting.
Oh my god.
And if you know your 1996 backstage history, because Kevin Nash has said this a few times, I believe, in interviews, he said that was the plan. They were planning to bring in Taker to WCW. They were trying to convince him to come over, and he was going to be Mark Calloway, the American Badass that we would see 3 or 4 years from here. That's who he was going to be. He was going to be Biker Taker in WCW. So my question is, were they in negotiations at this point with him? Is that why? Are they just working like an angle with Mankind? Like that would be something interesting to know. I'll have to look into it and see.
You have to call the 900 number.
Well, I have to. They're gonna tell me. They're like, that's how you're gonna get these answers. But so that's gonna be interesting to see. We did get a workhorse that we haven't seen for a couple weeks in Nitro in Bang! DDP against Prince Iaukea. It was a pretty good match. Really fast.
Yeah.
It seemed like 2-3 minutes, maybe. Diamond Cutter, bang, self-high five. But, again, you didn't have a Steiner. You didn't have Harlem Heat. Somebody's got to go out there and put on a good match. You didn't even...
Well, you got Dean Malenko next.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko and Chavito.
Which was cool, and you really get an appreciation for, just how good Chavo Guerrero is, and I feel like he's really, he doesn't get his due as much as he should. You know,
Yeah.
being Eddie's cousin and the younger guy. But I thought he and Dean had a great match.
Absolutely.
You know, it was really solid. You also had the Ice Train against Ming.
Ooh.
Yeah. Woo. No, Ming's great.
Yeah, Ming is great.
Ice Train not so much. As Scott Norton interferes, hitting Ming because he says at Hog Wild he doesn't want Ice Train to have an excuse for losing.
Yeah, he didn't want Ming to beat him up too much.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It was weird.
That's one thing that I felt a lot is Hog Wild is 2 weeks away at this point, I think.
Maybe 3.
They would not stop talking about it. They brought up Hog Wild, it seemed like every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas WWF barely mentioned SummerSlam. So, I don't know what's going on there. It felt a little weird, though. Of course, we're getting another smear campaign against Hogan.
It was like literally a smear campaign commercial.
Hulk Hogan used to say, "Eat your vitamins, Brother Jack Dude." But now he called you a piece of trash.
Brother Jack Dude. Maybe on a t-shirt, Brother Jack Dude.
Brother Jack Dude. In the, like, Hulkamania fashion.
Yeah. Shirt.
But, you know, it was a little weird.
It's like, we get it. He betrayed us. We hate him. He's a piece of shite, and we don't love him anymore. Go home. We don't love you anymore.
We don't love you anymore. Get out of here. I guess you have to do this because he doesn't have a presence on the show. Right. The Outsiders have such a small presence on the show.
Hogan and the Hendersons. Sorry.
you know, they have such a small presence on the show.
For now.
You know, they showed this limo, and they're, who's in the limo? Who's in the limo? Which
we never find out.
Yeah, we never find out. Literally, like, the show ends, and they were just like, oh yeah, there's a limo. I was like,
okay.
Well, that sucked. I enjoyed this. Vader and Jim Cornette talking on Raw about Shawn to challenge Shawn at SummerSlam, which pretty cool. Vader being very.
I was gonna say Jim Cornette talking. Well, that's all he does is he nods and he yeah.
Well, Jim Cornette cuts promo, but it works.
Right, yeah, because he's a crazy monster. He's got the crazy mask. I don't know if that's like a restraining thing. You like pull him by it if he gets a little too crazy.
Yeah,
He feels no pain.
Is it weird that I kind of wish we would see that more with the Giant? Like having...
Or like uncontrollable monster?
Yeah, or just like this big silent... Maybe say like, Hogan, I will destroy you. Like, and I guess he kind of did that a little more when he debuted.
Like Braun Strowman?
Yeah, well, and I guess the reason why he's not doing that is because he's the champ. He needs to be a little more vocal and more outgoing.
I feel like it'd be better, but because it's live, it's in the arena, and the promos he cuts are usually on the walkway or in the ring, and he has to yell into the mic. It comes across just a little hokey sometimes, just because of the way he talks, and the shape of his mouth always makes me laugh because like his bottom lip goes out and he's like, but it's neither here nor there. I want to eat you. I'm very into the eating right now, sorry.
Yeah, so, like we said, the main event, you've got the tag match, Ahmed Johnson, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
We passed over Billy Horowitz and Goldust.
Oh, that's right, we did. We mentioned
Goldust win.
Yeah, Goldust won, Barry Horowitz. Barry. You wrote Billy, but it's Barry.
Well.
That just goes to show you how valued Barry Horowitz is in her mind.
Sabisco was right. I'll be in the kitchen.
Alright. Okay, so I'll take care of this. But no, solid match. Again, I think Goldust at this point was... Everything clicked. Everything was firing on the right cylinders. I really feel like they could have pushed him for a top heel. A feud between him and Shawn Michaels for the world title I think would have been fantastic. And maybe we'll get to see that. I would have loved to have seen it. I think they just would have had great chemistry, and with Shawn being the sexy boy and Goldust being like the over-sexual, like I think it could have been... I think they could have done some really cool stuff with that. You got to see in the main event the tag champs, Smoking Guns, against, again, your world champion and your intercontinental champion. And this was a solid match.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, again, Shawn Michaels showing why he's the best in the business at the time. He delivers, you know, and we get to see a debuting man dressed like a ninja, as we said.
Right.
Very Lin Kuei-ish. He's got his helmet on.
It is just so blatantly obvious that WWF was dressing Farouk up like Glacier.
When you look at the new Glacier promo, yeah. Because there's a helmet in one shot.
And he's got like a silver mask and everything. Yeah. And that is literally nothing like what he becomes.
Yeah.
But they're literally, I don't know if they're poking fun or if they're trying to confuse people.
Yeah, it's...
Because he's dressed like Glacier, and Glacier hasn't debuted yet.
I feel like it's not a mistake.
It can't be. It's obviously a rib.
Yeah, so and that's Vince, because he was like, "Oh, you're a gladiator. You're wearing a helmet," and he's pitching it to Farouk or Ron Simmons, and he's like, "I love it, Vince." So you know, interesting. But that was a cool like break up at the end there. I think this is one of the best interference type spots we've seen, because they were heated, man. Like he's beating on Ahmed, and then HBK gets involved. It's really solid. Mm-hmm. Whereas Nitro fell flat at the end. You had the big 6-man tag, you know, of Benoit, Mongo, and AA Arn Anderson against Luger, Macho, and Sting.
Yeah, the usual suspects.
Match was pretty decent, except Steve Mongo McMichael, who is horrible.
Yeah, our main event, Steve Mongo McMichael, not wrestling very well.
So bad. There was a moment where it looked like he was going for like a back body drop to Sting or like a back suplex, and Sting like held the ropes, and Mongo kind of just dropped him. Like it just every shot, it was awful. I mean, when Benoit was in there, it was fine. When Arn was in there, it was fine. But man, like Mongo, I could see why they kind of like put the boots to him and get your ass out of here, because he's wow. Well, as we do every week here, we do have to pick a winner. But in the war, who do you got?
I'm gonna stick with Raw this week.
I have to agree. I think Raw takes it. Nitro lacked the heat.
Oh.
It did, though. It was it was just...
I'm sick of this arena.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm tired of seeing the Disney MGM. It's just the outdoor arena...
Well, and after they do the second hour fireworks, there's just so much smoke in the spotlights, because they're using like real mortars, because they're actually outside. Yeah. And it looks bad. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of seeing these damn kids in the audience.
And they need to get off our lawn, damn it. It's just... No, I know what you mean, though. I feel like if they would have done, like, 1 or 2 weeks, it would have been fine. But I think we're on our 3rd week now. And
At least.
It's like, go back inside. Oh, it's so... Yeah, it just... I don't know, and maybe it's because they were doing a lot of the stuff with Japan, but the last couple of weeks for Nitro have felt flat and boring, and we know big is coming because we've seen, like, the NWO, we're seeing them more and more, you know, the talk of new members, so I think it's about to click, but honestly, I think Raw delivered better. I do.
It was a more well-rounded show. They had the solid opening, the solid ending.
Their champions have such a presence on the show right now, which is important. I mean, we didn't see any champion. Who the hell? Oh, wait, Harlem Heat. I was like, who the hell are the tag champions right now? Ric Flair's the United States champion. Luger was the TV champion. He didn't have the belt on this episode, so I don't know what the hell's going on with that. The Giant shows up, chokeslams some dudes, but so it was flat. Yeah.
Yep.
But what did you guys think? Who won for you this week? Let us know in the comments below. And this is something we've been adding to every one of our videos. Right now on Twitter, we have a poll for what series you guys would like to see us do next. The choices that you have are Fanarchy in the UK, a look at the history of British professional wrestling.
Tandem Fandom Goes East, a look at the history of Japanese professional wrestling.
We take a look at the most important man in the past 20 years in professional wrestling, Scott Hall. Why is he the most important? Vote to find out.
And also we have American Independence, an in-depth look at the ever-growing genre of American independent wrestling.
That's right. Voting is up for the next week or so, so please head over to Twitter and cast your vote. Smack down your vote!
Smack down your vote. The link will be in the video description below.
Well, I think that wraps us up for another War with Words. As always, please like, subscribe, share, and comment on the video.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
As we always say here on Tandem Fandom, if you're going to be a fan,
bring a friend.